Welcome once again to another edition of Shelf Life Book Reviews Online. I must apologize to you that I don't have a snappy introduction with, dancing words across the screen or any exciting music. Just plain little old me giving you the best in books. So maybe down the road, but for now it's just me and my books. So anyways, as always, I'm bringing you two nonfiction books that are highly recommended. So hopefully when you make your reading lists and your purchases, you will include these books. The very first book is BACKROADS of Ontario, 6th edition by Ron Brown. This is published by Firefly and it retails for $29.95. Ron Brown is really an authority on all about Ontario. He's written, I think, over a dozen books, and they're informative. He's written about ghost towns of Ontario, very remote locations, likely some you've never heard about. But the main thing is he wants to get people traveling throughout Ontario. And although as I record this, it happens to be Labor Day weekend, I don't know when you're going to see this, just because the summer is over at this point does not mean you cannot go and you can still discover exciting parts of Ontario in spring, summer, winter, and fall, weather permitting, of course, in the winter. But in his books, he is very thorough. And what goes along with these books are dozens of pictures of the areas that he is referring to. And they're very concise, and he tells you how to get to these different locales. And in this particular book, there are 33 back road destinations that he discusses. He talks about a history of when they came into being, how they've progressed over the years. Some are almost close to being ghost towns, but they are still tourist attractions. They are still areas that either if you want to go alone or if you want to take your family for a weekend or day adventure, it certainly is well worth it. And in these books, Ron Brown does not spare any, the detail that he gives is absolutely amazing. He is certainly knowledgeable on the subject. And he talks about, in this particular book, there are many regions, and I have some written down, like the Napanee River Road, the Island Roads, the Bruce Peninsula Road, Rice Lake Road, Trail of the Drowned Villages, Trail of the Sleeping Giant, Manitoulins Haywater Trail, the Perth Road, St. Clair River Parkway, and so many more. So if you're looking for a book that's very informative that you will refer to if you plan a day trip, you definitely should add this book to your collection because Ron Brown certainly knows his stuff. And for the price of this, $29.95, it is a bargain, especially with the joy that you're going to get out of experiencing certain back roads throughout the province of Ontario. And the second book of interest this time out is Baking with Dorie, Sweet, Salty, and Simple by Dorie Greenspan. And this is published by Houghton Mifflin Harcourt, and it retails for $50. If you're looking for books that are on the subject of cooking, baking, Dorie Greenspan certainly knows her stuff too, just like Ron Brown did in the earlier book review. She has been writing about food for over 30 years, and she has published 14 recipe books. And this might be her boldest and her best. It definitely, some of the magazines have, scratch and sniff where you can, smell certain products. Well, it's too bad there's not a scratch and sniff here, because based on the pictures of the foods that she's cooked, if you could scratch and sniff them, I think you'd be eating the pages, because this is really filled with, wow, don't worry about the calories. She just has so many good things. Mocha walnut tort, lamingtons, I don't know what lamingtons are, but she has so many. Marbled cheesecake, wow. S'mores ice cream cake, See, you want to eat the pages because I don't know the nutritional value, but she has so many. Here's mocha nuts, rye cranberry chocolate chunk cookies, and maple walnut pie. She gives you recipes that you could eat any time of the day. You don't need an excuse to eat a decadent dessert. Of course, don't get on the scale afterward. Just say, well, but remember, all things in moderation. Now, what Dorie Greenspan has done as she takes, traditional recipes like chocolate chip cookies and she adds different things to them. So they're almost like totally new recipes. You won't be saying, oh, it's just a chocolate chip recipe. No, she adds different things and turns it into something amazing. So this is definitely a coffee table book that you will want to show your friends and say, hey, let's get on a baking spree and cook some of these things, because there are 150 recipes in this book. So certainly enough to keep you going for well over a weekend, well over a month, well over the year, really. If you baked one every 3 days, that's about a year and a half or over a year. So anyways, Baking with Dorie is really a book that if you like cooking and you like, creating things, this book is certainly for you. So those are the two books that I wanted to draw to your attention. Definitely get out in the back roads of Ontario and come on home and do some baking with Dorie. So hopefully you will agree with me. Please send me your comments about the books if you do purchase them. So until we meet again, I always say stay safe, stay sane, stay social distancing, and do stay in touch. We'll see you again real soon, and thanks again for viewing. Bye-bye.